Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Olivia Rojas on the line, and she's the president over at Vitality Investments. Olivia, welcome to the show.
Hi, happy to be here.
So I'm excited to get more into what you're doing over at Vitality Investments, what kind of projects you work on. But before we do that, let's get a little bit further into your background. So how did you get started in your career and as an entrepreneur?
I really think entrepreneurship became a passion of mine my junior year of college. There was a company called College Pro Painters that pretty much takes really ambitious college students and teaches them how to build and run a business from the ground up. So they give you a franchise to actually run yourself. And I came into the program with absolutely no painting experience or knowledge, and that's kind of what they wanted. They wanted to really train you and then teach you how to train a team. So it was some really intense business training for a couple months where they taught you how to sell your work, taught you how to build a team, taught you how to train a team, and then taught you how to actually paint. And through them, I was able to run a successful painting franchise for the year 2015. So through that, I learned some just invaluable skills, and I realized that I really wanted to run my own business. That was kind of my calling. It was definitely the hardest year of my life, but I was actually able to win Rookie Entrepreneur of the Year after my first year owning a franchise. And because of that, I felt really confident in my ability to not only run a painting business, but run any business. Once you have those skills, those business skills, it's pretty easy to apply them to any business venture. So I knew that I didn't necessarily want to stick with painting, but I knew that I wanted to apply those skills to build up my own business.
Wow, what an amazing story, and Rookie Entrepreneur of the Year. That's awesome. I love it. And, you know, there's some, and I know we're going to get into what you're doing now at Vitality Investments, and you're a long way since that first business you started. But that being said, there's some younger entrepreneurs that are maybe just in college, or maybe they're just getting out of college, and they're thinking about going down that entrepreneurial route, if you will. What kind of advice would you give to them on getting started?
I would definitely say you have to be prepared for failure. You know, a big part of running my first business and running our business now is learning to kind of take the trial and error period with grace and realize that you're going to make mistakes, you're going to make some people angry, but you always have to keep that vision and that goal alive and be working towards something, because it's very easy to get bogged down when you're learning and when you're still not as confident in your abilities. So I would say, if you're really passionate about being a business owner, you have to go into it with the knowledge that you're going to fail many, many, many times, and it's going to seem impossible and you're going to want to give up. But you have to have that mentality from the beginning, or you're going to probably give up, which is what I've seen a lot of people do.
That's awesome. I love that advice. Let's switch it up a bit. I do want to get into what you're doing over at Vitality Investments. So first, tell us a little bit more about the business, please.
So Vitality Investments, my husband and I actually started it about a year and a half ago. We started because I actually read Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which if you're, you know, an aspiring entrepreneur, I would definitely say that should be one of the first books you read. It's a great way to learn how to, just the basics of building passive income. So from that book, I actually found a free seminar that his company, Legacy Education, was putting on. Went to that seminar, went to the 3-day seminar that you actually paid for, and then from there, my husband and I spent an exorbitant amount of money, the most money we had ever spent in our lives, to be trained how to essentially become real estate investors. I think while the money was a lot and it was very scary, it created a fire, and it lit a fire in our belly, because we realized that we didn't have a choice. We had to succeed. We had debt now that we had to pay off. which was kind of a way that company uses that tactic to really motivate you. And then became the period of, trial and error. It was extremely hard. We saw a lot of failures and we made a lot of mistakes. But we literally could not give up. And that was kind of what really kept us pushing. And so now what we do, the program pretty much teaches you how to become a real estate investor using several different techniques. Obviously, flipping a house for profit, wholesaling a house, which is what we kind of specialize in right now. And there's other things like lease option and rentals and things like that. But what we are focusing on is wholesaling. So for people that aren't aware of like real estate terms, wholesaling is a way to connect motivated sellers with investors and close on their terms, and provide no hidden fees, which is a lot of times the value that we bring is that we allow sellers to close on their terms, and we also connect them with cash buyers. So the value in that is that a lot of times when you're buying a house and you're getting a mortgage, you have to go through an inspection, you have to go through an appraisal. There's a lot of steps that a seller has to accommodate in order for a buyer to actually close on a deal. And what the value that we bring is we go to a seller and say, hey, we can actually offer you cash for your house, but it might be a little under market value. But if you are looking to sell quickly, we can do that for you. And actually, a lot of people at first we were like, well, no one's going to go for that. People are going to want to list with a professional agent who can get them the most for their house. But what we found is that there are so many different situations, and there are so many different people have so many different things going on in their lives that a lot of times, whether it be a rental that they've had that, has been losing them money, whether it be a house that they really need to get out of, there's so many situations, divorce, foreclosure. A lot of times they're willing to they say, hey, you know what, if you can close within a week and get me cash, I will close with you. And in that case, you get your the property under contract. And we actually spent about a year building up a list of big time buyers in our area, which is Columbus, Ohio. And some of those buyers come to us exclusively for deals because they know that we have good deals. A big part of wholesaling that a lot of people don't like is that there are a lot of bad wholesalers that don't understand the market and who don't do their research and who are frankly a little bit greedy. And what they do is they will put a property under contract and then they'll list that property for just an exorbitant amount of profit. We try to be very reasonable with what we make. We obviously aren't going to work for free. So we make the difference between what we put the property under contract for and what we sell it for. But there are people that try to make, $100,000 in one deal, which is just frankly greedy. And the seller can see that when you relist it. So that gives wholesalers a bad name because a lot of people are like, oh, don't work with wholesalers. They're just going to relist your property for a lot more. And that's not what we do because we actually have a list of buyers who buy exclusively from us and come to us for deals because we have shown our value and we've closed several deals where both buyer and seller have been very happy. We're able to leverage that and have really dedicated buyers that, again, come to us so we can quickly close on a house where a lot of wholesalers, since they don't have that following of buyers, they can't do that.
That's awesome. So there's a lot of people listening. Some of them are investors, some of them are sellers, and all around the country. So first off, I think you mentioned, so your specialty area is Columbus, Ohio. What kind of investors
Correct.
do you typically work with so that if somebody's listening to this and they're interested in and potentially investing in the Columbus, Ohio area, they know if they're a great fit to follow up with Vitality Investments?
Sure. So we deal with a lot of out-of-state investors. Columbus, Ohio is very much appreciating. There's a lot of plans in the next 5 years for a huge infrastructure revamp. There's a lot of projects that are going to get started, million-dollar projects. So a lot of investors are flocking to this area, especially West Coast investors, California, Oregon. It's very hard to buy a home in California for less than, $1 million. So people that have a little bit less to spend, but they still have cash and they want to invest, a lot of times look to appreciating cities in the Midwest, like Columbus. So we do have several out-of-state investors who work with us. And basically what that entails is we give as much information as possible. So we try to bring as much value to an investor if they're going to work with us. We send them, summaries of what the market's looking like, especially someone who doesn't know Columbus. We have, a friend that just invested with us that lives in California. They came to Columbus. They had no idea the areas that they should be targeting, and so we kind of took them around, physically drove with them, showed them areas that we see investors going into, areas that we sold, and we show them actual appreciation rates, rent rates, so they can have a really good understanding of what their return is going to be, which is what investing in real estate should be. When you're an investor and you're investing in the stock market, a lot of times your return is very small and it's unpredictable. With real estate, a lot of people don't know this, but if you do it right, it's very predictable. You have to do your research and understand what's coming in the future, but it's actually very easy to make a huge return as an investor investing in real estate. So I would say anyone who's looking to invest in Columbus, we can definitely help them out, especially if they're out of state. We provide a lot of value and research to our clients.
That's awesome. So if somebody's listening to this and they do want more information on Vitality Investments, what's the best way for them to reach out?
So my email or phone number, we take a lot of, shoot me a text or call me or send me an email. That's typically if you're an investor. My email is Olivia_Rojas, ROJAS, @vitalityinvestmentsinc.com. And my phone number is 614-738-2048. Again, just shoot me a text and let me know that you're an investor looking to invest in Columbus, Ohio. We could definitely get the ball rolling. We have a lot of tools and a lot of resources that we can send your way that will point us in the right direction. And then once we have your interest narrowed down and what you want to do with your investment, we can definitely bring you deals, find you sellers that are looking to close quickly, and get you that return that you're looking for. And if you're interested in selling a house, my website is olivia-buys-houses.com. And there it shows we have lots of blog posts, lots of content explaining what we do, the process, testimonials about people that have sold with us and closed with us. And then you can actually fill out a profile, let us know, your property, what you're looking to get from it, and we can go from there.
Perfect. Well, Olivia, I really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and all the great work you're doing over at Vitality Investments, and also your journey as an entrepreneur. Great stuff there for others to be able to learn from. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, do all those great things we do to support our podcasters. I really do appreciate it. And Olivia, thanks again for coming on the show.